The Earnestly Speaking podcast is a show that is founded on free-flowing conversation and may at times venture into mature subjects. Listener discretion is advised.
Yeah, Earnestly Speaking podcast. Let's get it. I'm a giant in New York, in Miami carry heat. So much more in store, my product can flood the street. Opinion Nation Godfather, CEO. Puff in the late 90s, gon' see me blow. Oh, got my hustle on, no imitation of bad. Army of untouchables, Opinion Nation staff. Never an off season, homie, check the numbers. Heart throb in my own right, supplying southern comfort. Earnestly speaking, my ego is well fed. Earnestly speaking, you're too feeble and no threat. See, I'm like a hurricane, you're a mild breeze. Earnestly speaking, leaving Eli a dynasty. Shake!
Earnestly Podcast coming to you Wednesday night, December 11th, 2024. It is now week 15 of EJ versus Degenerate, and of course, joined here every week by the Degenerate himself, America's first Degenerate, Zachary. What's up, buddy?
What's up?
You had fun? You had fun on Monday night?
Oh man, that was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
So happy you brought your brother.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. We had a great time. He had a great time too, man. So it was we for some listeners don't know, we got together. Which is not often we do at all because of schedules, and you work a lot. I got a family. But we found a way to get together and actually watch the Cowboys game and Cowboys Bengals game, and which is we watched the game, but we really didn't watch the game. We were having a podcast there in the booth there for W for like 3 hours, man.
Dude, it was great.
Yeah, it's good to have that kind of stuff. It's good to have that time, that guy time, man. Because I don't get enough of it, to be honest with you, though. So, but anyway, we'll have some guy time here on the podcast because obviously we'll talk about our best bets in just a second. But a couple of topics I want to get into on the show. We're going to discuss Jimmy Butler's trade rumors. Bill Belichick has a new job, actually. And then I want to talk about the very fascinating story about the United Healthcare CEO who got murdered last week. They found the guy or the person of interest. I mean, it sounds like he did do it because it sounds like the tea leaves sound like he's the guy. I want to get into the narratives about that whole thing. But first, let's get to the best bets of week 15. Zach, you are now on a winning streak. You have won 3 in a row. Gaining ground.
Well, I mean, I'll never be able to catch you, so we don't really have to worry about it.
No, that's not true, though, because we're going to do this through the playoffs, and I have 8 wins. You have 3. There's still technically 8 weeks to go. So, and I think what we'll do for the Super Bowl week, we'll probably throw in some prop bets in there to kind of make it a little more feasible in terms of like things to best bet on or something.
I like prop bets.
We'll figure something out on that one. But yeah,
there's nothing like going for 7 out of 8 on a prop bet with players.
But you like anything that deals with gambling. Come on now, it's not hard for you. It's not a hard sell for you to gamble. Let's be real about that.
Just because I'll bet on a cockroach race doesn't mean I bet.
Yeah. And by the way, he probably does too. He won't tell you that, but he probably does.
I draw the line at badminton.
Okay.
I see that at 3 a.m. and I draw the line.
It's funny you say that. You won't draw a line of cockroaches, but you draw a line at badminton. Yeah, good choice. All right.
I bet on animals, not people, bro.
That's true.
I love betting on animals.
Okay, that makes sense.
Horses, Mr. Dogs.
Horsies, yeah. Mr. Reds, yeah. All right, so guess what, Zach? No more bye weeks. The buys are finally complete for the year. So every team will be playing action this weekend, and we start off tomorrow night, or by the time this podcast hits some of your feeds, it'll be tonight. Thursday football. Rams at Niners. The Niners are 3-point favorites. The over-under, Zachary, is 48.5.
Dude, Niners just lose people on defense, right and left, every week. I'm going to have to take the over because Brock Purdy, he's making sure he's getting 50 to 55 million this offseason. The only way he doesn't get that is because they decide to franchise him. So give me the Niners to cover.
We discussed that over dinner on Monday. And by the way, shout out to Chris Matic. Hopefully, when we go out again in a couple of weeks, that he can come out this time and hang out with us.
Yeah.
The Brock Purdy
First off,
situation.
I was on a hunger strike, Chris, because you didn't show up.
That's true. Yeah. Here's a question. Brock Purdy. You discussed this a bit with my brother too, also over dinner. Because they could extend him at this point, this offseason. Given where the Niners are at, is Brock Purdy worth that kind of money? I mean, they're going to extend him probably, but the question is he worth that kind of money? Where the market's at?
Absolutely. You're talking about a actual top 10 quarterback. Every season he has played, he has shown up and been a top 10 quarterback. To pretend like you are not worth 50 to 55 million at a bare minimum, I'm sorry that Jerry Jones and his old retarded ass gave a quarterback 60 million guaranteed to a guy who doesn't deserve it. But yeah, Brock Purdy easily deserves 50 to 55 mil.
So he's going to get extended, I think. I know the Shanahan way is that they could plug in any quarterback and it works, but I think Brock Purdy is easily the only guy that has made it work to a point where it has expanded the entire roster to where they're literally overtime for winning the Super Bowl. So I think I'll make that work, but they're trying to find a good number to make it work so it have flexibility because the team is getting a little older and they've not maxed out. The injuries, of course, have been bad this year. The 2 games back right now in the division. This is obviously a must win. Although I would argue that with the way Seattle's playing these last couple of weeks, man, it seems like Seattle is running away with this division. The Rams, however, are the team behind right now. Seattle, a game behind, who needs to win as well, too. They look great against Buffalo this past week. My gut told me to take the Niners at first on this one, but given where both teams are at right now currently, the Niners are not going to be down to the 4th running back now. I think the kid that replaced Jordan prior, the guy who replaced him last week, he got hurt against the Bears, so he's out now on IR. So down to the 4th guy. So with the Niners, there's no more bodies. There's no more bodies and a short week.
Yeah.
So the Rams need this win. They look great. Puka Nacua is a boss. I'm going to take the Rams on the road here to cover. Give me the Rams on the points here to cover to win outright.
So last thing. One last thing. As you say that, all these injuries, your number wide receiver is out. Your number 2 guy has not shown up this season.
Yeah.
Your offensive line cannot pass protect.
Yeah.
All right. I don't care how good Trent Williams is. Yeah, they can still run block. They have not been good at pass protection. So if this guy shines with the 4th string running back and 1 wide receiver and a tight end who has not been getting the ball enough, and a defense that is just missing piece after piece and aging, what more do you need to know other than to sign this guy?
Yeah, I think
do not pull the franchise tag shit.
I think everything you just said there actually helps his case to get signed to a big extension. So I'm with you. All right, next one here. Sunday games. Here we go. Chiefs at Browns. The Chiefs are 4-point favorites. The over-under is 43.5, Zach.
Oh, this is an easy one. Give me the give me the Browns. Browns defense. I mean, Carolina can't beat anyone. It takes either a fuck up or a rough decision in order for them to win in like the last 6 weeks. So yeah, give me the Cleveland Browns, who just seem somehow motivated, even though they have no chance at the playoffs.
Yeah, it feels like ever since James Winston got in that lineup, look, the James Winston experience has been fun. Like, obviously, it's up and downs, but at least it seems competitive, though. At least a competitive week. I mean, they're fun to watch. I'm with you. Not only do the Browns cover, the Browns win this game. Like, this game is set for we've been saying the Chiefs are, they've been just doing this whole thing where like they win by skin of their teeth, get lucky, the whole 9, and this and that. At some point, they're gonna need a wake up call, right? Like last year was a loss to the Raiders on Christmas Day. That was a wake up call, and then they went ahead and won a Super Bowl. I feel like this game might be the wake up call here because they got a 2-game lead now in Buffalo in the conference with number 1 seed, and I think obviously they feel like, okay, well, we're not playing the best football in the world, but we have a 2-game lead. We can rest a little bit. And I think this is the worst team to do that against. The Browns, they don't care about your record. They're coming to fuck you up. You know what I'm saying? So, no, this is a bad spot. 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I think Cleveland only covers this game. I think they win outright. Give me the Browns win this game. So
100% agree.
I'm with you on that one. All right, how about this one? Bengals at Titans. Bengals are 5-point favorites. The over/under is 47. Zach.
I don't care how bad the Bengals keep fucking me over. Titans cost me $1,800 last week. Fuck you, Titans. Give me the Bengals.
Same
That's
here.
all I gotta say.
The Titans they're broken. They're broken. Being scarred.
$1,800 down because of one goddamn team. Screw you.
And they can't beat the Jaguars at home with Mac Jones as quarterback.
Yeah,
like they can't do that. Like, come on. Bengals win this game easy. They run away. Probably the greatest 5-8 team in the history of football, because Joe Burrow would be an MVP right now. Candidate now if this team was even remotely around 500. He ain't the problem, obviously. He's like third in QBR, leading league in passing, phenomenal year. It's just they lose too many one-score games. I think they lost 6 games this year by one possession. So, but yeah, this is the Titans is terrible. They're packed in now. You can't beat the Jaguars. We can beat the Bengals now. No, get out of here. Beat the Bengals well too to cover 5 points.
Yeah,
all right.
This was a dinner question because we were talking about Higgins and Chase.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I think Chase is gone after this season.
Yeah. You mentioned the dinner. You mentioned dinner that Higgins
will be cheaper.
Something
cheap
to look
owner, cheaper player.
Something to look at in this offseason, actually. I'm not saying I agree what's going to happen, but it would not shock me because of Mike Brown and how he operates as owner. All right. Your game here. Commanders at Saints. The Commanders are 7.5-point favorites. The over/under is 43.5, Zach.
My team is coming off a bye, and you only make us a 7.5-point favorite?
Well, it's in New Orleans.
Give me the Commanders -10. We are going to crush them. But if you want a safer bet, take the over because our defense sucks.
So what are you doing? You taking Kami?
Oh, I'm taking the Commanders to cover.
Okay, so I have the over as well. I have the over for the record. And I wanted to take Washington to cover, but it's in New Orleans, and you know how things are there, home field advantage, all that. The bye week obviously helps, and they need it because with Jane Daniels' injury, rib injury, and all that. The rest helps. They still need to wrap up the division because the Rams right behind them. I think if they lose this game, Rams win. They're tied for the wild card, so that gets a little testy there too. Also, so Washington needs to put some distance to themselves and the rest of the teams behind them in the race for the wild card. I do think Washington wins this game though, but give me the over. The best bet's the over. All right. Oh boy, probably the biggest spread of the year. Ravens at Giants. The spread now is Ravens -16. It was 14.5 this morning. Now it's 16. And then I think that's the news. That's because of the news of Drew Lock being out for this game. So -16 Ravens. Zach.
Wait, so who was starting quarterback then?
It was Drew Lock, and now it's DeVito.
Oh, okay. I thought DeVito was out, and so Lock was in.
No, it was still Lock, and the spread was 14.5 this morning. And then about 3 hours after I saw the spread this afternoon, they announced that DeVito's in this week because Lock is hurt. So the spread moved another 1.5. So, yeah. Over/under is 42.5, by the way, Zach.
Shit. Oh man.
Do you put in the Zach rule on the Giants? If they're getting X amount of points, you take
that
them?
is the thing. There's that rule, and your defense is decent. I want to use the rule, but I'm gonna pussy out and take the under.
Guess what? I'm doing the same thing too for the same reason. You know why? First off, no shot the Giants win this game. No shot. No shot. Not happening. All right. We're not even talking that. And it is tempting to take the Ravens there to cover because it's off a bye. They need the win. If the Steelers lose to Philadelphia, they're only half game back of the division. They play again in a couple of weeks. So there's a lot riding on this game for the Ravens in terms of staying pace for the AFC North crown.
But history proves
it's a lot of fucking points. It's a lot of points though, too, at the same time. 16 points. The best bet's the under. They'll probably win this game like 30-3. Probably.
You'll get a field goal in the fourth quarter, Just so the coach can say, "Hey, we put up points."
But I don't want to stress a 16-point spread when they know they'll probably be up like 20 late, and then the Giants get a late score after they pull those starters. So I'd rather bet on the game where like the best bet being, okay, well, the Ravens win, 30 to like, I don't
14.
know, the 10, 30 to 10. I feel more safe for the under. So give me the under as well, too. So it's not about the who wins game, but about the best bet for each game. That's what we're doing here. All right. Cowboys at Panthers. The Panthers are 2.5-point favorites. The over-under is 43, Zach.
Look, only because it's at Carolina, I will take Carolina to cover. All right. Cowboys have a wide receiver, but they got no run game. They got a decent defense, but it's just not enough. I think Carolina could actually win by a touchdown or more.
Oh, no, I'm with you. I have Carolina in this game outright. Not only that, two teams that, forget the records. Just on optics, going the opposite directions. Like the Panthers are 3-10, but they're playing decent football. They almost beat Philadelphia last week. Almost beat KC a couple weeks ago. They're in games. They're playing good football. Should be in Tampa Bay 2 weeks ago. This team could be easily 6-7 right now, and probably in like with a slim shot at the wild card right now.
Well, you're seeing Carolina play with guys who's playing where guys are playing for their livelihoods and their next paycheck. Dallas is like, can we get to Cabo San Lucas? Is the season over yet?
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? I mean, we watched the game on Monday together. Cowboys are broken, man. They look broken after that loss. Which, by the way, screwed my fucking,
How?
What was it? -6 or +6?
Yeah. Oh my God! Yes, don't even.
We left. So, little story, guys. We left the restaurant at about like right at the very end of the fourth quarter, and the game was tied. And I did see the play because we were in the car. I put the game on in the car, and that's when Chase had that touchdown. But we missed the punt block.
So, also, let's rewind 3 hours before that. You literally come in and sit down at the table and start going +6, +6, +6.
And that was all night long. Man. Yeah, I know. Yeah, fuck you, Cowboys. Give me Carolina win this game out easily. This is actually my lock of the week.
Wow.
Yeah, absolutely. I am. I think Dallas is broken now. You see Michael Parsons' reaction? They are broken.
Yeah.
They are broken.
I think he could be out.
Honestly, I don't like what I'm seeing from this guy. Not just this week, but the last 2 years, honestly, I have not really been.
He's literally just a pass rusher who runs by quarterbacks at times because that is the only thing going through his head.
Yeah. So, give me Carolina win this game and cover 2.5 points. All right. How about this one? Jets at Jaguars. The Jets are 3.5-point favorites. The over-under is 40.5, Zach.
Oh, I'm taking the under. This is a sad, pathetic game. But Jacksonville's defense has been playing really good the last few weeks. So I don't even think Aaron Rodgers and Bryce Hall could put up 21 points on this team right now.
I'm actually going to take the over. I don't know why.
Whoa. All right.
I know.
We got a difference.
No, I know. I know last week they only put 10 points against the Titans, but they're at home now. The Jets offense actually looked better last week. Best Aaron Rodgers game we've seen in 3 years. They actually moved around a lot. He can still make those throws once in a while. Those throws are still hitting once in a while. But 49 points is low enough. Why not? Give me a 23-20 game. That's not impossible? 23-20? Like,
you really? Okay.
I mean, just because they did one thing 1 week, I mean they'll do the same thing next week. I don't know. I just feel like the over is going to hit here. All right, so that's the best bet for me. All right, the best game of the 1 o'clock set. By the way, as you go through the schedule, this week's schedule, you never see the 4 o'clock slate better than the 1 o'clock slate. This week is different though. The 4 o'clock slate is way better than the 1 o'clock slate. This game is the best game in the 1 o'clock slate. Dolphins at Texans. Texans are 3-point favorites. Over under is 46.5, Zach.
So I'll be honest. Smart bet again would be take the over.
Mm-hmm.
But my heart, and I'm going to go with my heart here, just take the Dolphins. I think the Dolphins win. I think outright win.
Mm-hmm. You had the over, right?
Yeah. No, I'm taking the Dolphins.
Oh, the best bet the Dolphins?
Yes.
Okay. I'm there too also. In fact, I already said on social media after Sunday that the Dolphins will win out the rest of the year. Now, whether or not that translates into them making the playoffs, that all is determined by what the Chargers do, what the Broncos do, and maybe even to a lesser extent the Ravens do, because they need a couple of hiccups just to make them ground. But that being said, this is the hardest game of the 4 games left for the Dolphins, honestly. So if the Dolphins want even a prayer to make the playoffs, they better not lose this game. So, as I've been saying all year long, Houston's been underwhelming all year long. They've been really underwhelming all year long. They're a good team, but they're maybe a tier 3, tier 4 team at this point. So yeah, give me the Dolphins in this game. I think Dolphins in this game and surprise some folks. I'm there with you on that one. All right, 4:00 games. Here we go. Colts at Broncos. The Broncos are 3.5-point favorites. The over/under, Zach, is 44.
So the Colts are in Denver, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's only a 3.5-point spread with a rookie quarterback.
No. Well, Broncos quarterback.
Broncos have a rookie quarterback who looks miles ahead of Indianapolis's guy.
Correct.
This is gonna be a beatdown. Give me the Broncos. Broncos gonna beat the hell out of them.
So, I think the reason why the spread is a little lower as it is, though, and it's weird because the Denver's come up a bye also on top of that, which is even more stranger. You think people at least a 5-point spread, but the Colts are frisky, man. They're 6-7 for a reason. And by the way, this game's huge because if Indy wins this game, Denver loses. That's the other team in the mix with Miami in terms of like the wild card spot is the Colts. They'll now be only a game behind Denver for the wild card. So this is a huge game for the Colts. And Richardson's looked a little better since getting benched. But that being said, I'm not picking them to win. Denver, I thought Denver come to earth at some point, and clearly that's not happening. And with 4 games to go in the year, I don't see that happening. I don't see this happening, especially with Bo Nix playing better every week. And they got the bye this past week on top of that. Nah, I like Denver. I think Denver puts Indy to sleep for good for this year. Give me Denver win this game and cover the spread as well, too. All right. Probably the game of the year. Bill and possible Super Bowl preview. Bills at Lions. Lions are 1.5-point favorites only. Over under Zach is 54.5. I'm a little stunned. It's that low. Where's the stand of 3 points? I don't know.
So, I'm sorry. 54.5 when you have 2 high-scoring teams. I know it happens every time. It's always an under. It is never an over. And I always bet the over. So, you know what? Give me the Bills to win outright.
Really? So,
look, Lions have been playing teams close of late. They keep losing guys on defense. And after last weekend's loss for Josh Allen, he's motivated, man. He wants to win again.
I don't disagree with you there. I do feel a bit about Detroit now, though, after that win against Green Bay. The fourth down play to end the game where like it had Goff fell and they touched him, they would not have gotten that field goal off to win the game, and maybe Green Bay wins that game, and then you're looking at Dan Campbell like, what the hell are you doing? I don't know how you feel about the play call, but it is what it is. Detroit is
that's
what
not
they
even
do.
The one I'm upset about. Going for it on 4th down at your own 30. Dude, stop being a fucking dumbass. I know you want to swing your dick, but at a certain point, you have 53 guys that are trying to feed their families. Don't fuck their lives over because you're a dumbass. That's how I feel about that.
No, I'm with you.
Like fucking play to win the game for once.
No, I get it, but the thing is, though, and using a 2-year sample, even 3-year sample of them since they've turned this whole thing around, Like, this is who they are. Like, they scored 2 touchdowns on 4th down, on 4th and goal in that same game last week. This is who they are. I mean, they're not trying
But
to
why
pretend
are
who
they in a
they're not.
close game? Because you have a coach who thinks it's okay to go for it from your own 30.
Yeah, and I get that. I'm not even disagreeing with you because to me, it's like I wouldn't be that egregious either. Look, I have no. They live by this play. They die by this. I guess it cost them an NFC title game last year. It cost them Super Bowl berth last year, obviously, with this kind of thing.
And he hasn't learned. Like, how stupid of a coach can you be? At a certain point, put your dick back in your underwear and just fucking play a game so you can win a fucking football.
That being said, this is a must for Detroit because Minnesota is right behind them. For all the goodwill Detroit has, and rightly so, Minnesota's only game behind. And when they played early in the year, Minnesota had them dead to rights. So this game is going to say more about Detroit than Buffalo. So I think Josh Allen will play great in this game regardless. Best player in the field will be Josh Allen. Best team will be Detroit, though. Give me Detroit with this game and cover 1.5 points. I just think Detroit needs this game more, and they need to stay ahead of the curve because this is the difference between them being a 1 seed and a 5 seed.
Yeah,
so
they are so unhealthy on defense. You got to stop being stupid.
Well, that's the thing, and I think Vegas has kind of seen that too, also, because typically the home team gets the usual 3-point spread, but the fact that it's already 1.5, some places have 2.5.
Yeah,
I think Vegas thinks that Buffalo may have a good chance to win this game.
How many times does the number 1 seed in a conference at home only be favored by 1.5? And it's because of the coach.
It's the coach, and she said the injuries too, also. So, but I'm gonna have confidence in Detroit win this game. This has nothing to do with Buffalo. I think Buffalo will be in the mix no matter what, but I just think Detroit is the better team right now. Give me Detroit win this game. All right, another big game this weekend in the 4:00 slate. We're getting spoiled this week, buddy. Steelers at Eagles. Eagles are 5.5 point favorites. The over under is 42. Zach.
Dude, I already told a couple people at my job today how I'm a Commanders fan, so I hope your team rots in hell. So, Russell Wilson, please don't make me eat my words. Come on, baby. Be Ernest's GOAT for one more week. And you know how much it hurts me to root for the Steelers because you know how I feel about the Roonies.
Yeah. So you're taking
the Steelers, baby.
Speaking
taking
of
Russell Wilson.
I'm concerned though because George Pickens may not play this game.
Don't care.
Injuries are an issue for the big injury there. The weather too might be an issue as well, which is also the reason why George Pickens probably should sit out this week. I think Philly wins the game, but I think the best bet is the under because of the weather and everything else around that. I think it's gonna be a slobber knocker. I think it's gonna be a run game, Najee Harris versus Saquon Barkley battle. Honestly,
yeah.
So
I see that.
Yeah, so give me the under on this one. All right, Patriots at Cardinals. The Cardinals are 6-point favorites. The over under is 46. Zach.
Because it's at the Cardinals, and the Cardinals are still trying to take their division. Give me the Cardinals.
I think they're cooked now. If you had told me 3 weeks ago they would lose 3 in a row like this, I would have said nah. Because remember 3 weeks ago they were the hottest team in the division, leading it by a game or so, and then Seattle comes out of the gate after Arizona's bye week. Seattle wins 16-6. Then Arizona lost another game. I can't remember who they lost to. And then they lost another game to Seattle last week. That's they went from 6-4 to 6-7 like that. But I think they'll win this game. Pats are not good. Pats are competitive, but they're not good. So Arizona should cover 6 points easy. Give me the Cardinals as well too. How about this game? This is a sneaky good game, really too. Bucks at Chargers. The Chargers are 3-point favorites. The over under is 45.5. Zach.
I actually love the Chargers in this game.
Mm.
Now, I would love to see the Bucks pull it off. Bucks make it to the playoffs. So, maybe I do a drunken, stupid weekend decision and go for a playoff game. But no, I just can't do it. I don't think the Bucks are good enough this week.
Yeah. Both teams will go to the playoffs. Bucks will win the South. They're now a game up on Atlanta. Chargers going to go to wild card. Maybe it's 5, 6, or 7. If this game was not being played the same week as the Lions and the Bills or the Steelers and Eagles, this would be a more talked about game for the week. Honestly.
Oh yeah, it'd be a much bigger 4:00 game.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a stay away game altogether. Because the Bucks are capable of winning anywhere, anytime on any given Sunday. They've done it. I mean, again, the Lions have one loss, right, this year.
With
the one loss
any amount of scoring, they
right.
could win by 30 or they could win by 17, 13.
Right, the Lions have one loss this year. Who's it to? To the Lions, to the Bucks at home. And the Bucks almost beat who was it? They almost beat the Chiefs.
Yeah. So
I mean, like I said, this team is very frisky, very competitive. But this spot, I don't like it. Give me the Chargers to win this game, but I will stay away from betting this game, honestly. Okay. 8:00 game. Sunday football. We got the Packers at Seahawks, another big game. Packers 3-point favorites. Over under is 45.5, Zach.
Look, I know Seattle's clinging to division. They've been playing good of late, but all that's going off in my head is I still don't trust the Seahawks coming out of your mouth.
I will say now, with each passing week, I'm changing my tune on that one. So,
yeah, not this week though.
You got Green Bay?
Yeah, I really like Green Bay in this week to cover.
Yeah, see, but watch it be the one week I believe in Seattle, and then they lose. No, they're actually up 2 games now in division now. Well, 1 game. The Rams one game behind. But this is a game now with Seattle. Okay, so like Seattle, I was turning things around. Now, do I trust Seattle long term to compete with the who's who in the NFC? The Eagles and obviously the Lions, and then the Vikings and the Packers. This is the first game I'm going to find out. This is one of the games I'm going to find out. If they can win this game against a former opponent, a team that's a top 10 team in the league right now, a team that's maybe a tier 3 team more than a tier 2 team, but it's still a good team, a playoff team, in the Packers, then it will go a long way. But I like Green Bay with this game, though. However, I think the best bet is the over. So give me the over on this one. Green Bay, by the way, for the record, I like them. I don't love them. I like them. They're a good team. And in fact, I can see them playing an NFC title game this year if things work out.
Me. Well, I think that was my prediction preseason.
But there's something missing. This is something right now. I mean, look, things have changed in week to week, but right now, entering week 15, I feel like there's something missing with this team. I don't know what it is. I can't put my finger on it. But maybe it's a good thing that they're still 9-4 in spite of that. So
I feel like Jordan Love has been just a bit off.
Yeah, I see that. Definitely. He lost that back foot.
That is what, he got so hot after, week 12 last year, where the team just gelled and you could see it.
Yeah.
This year, after he came back from the injury and everything, it's just been just a slight off.
It's still good, but not. He hasn't elevated more than we thought he'd be at, I guess, right?
Exactly.
He's probably still top 10 quarterback in the league also, too. It was just, gotta see more. Maybe we're just thirsty for that. I don't know. Best bet to the over, though, for me. So I'll take that one. All right. We got 2 Monday night games coming up this week. We're back to that again. That whole thing. Bears at Vikings, first off. The Vikings are 7-point favorites. The over-under is 43.5, Zach.
So, initially, I would want to take the Bears, getting all the points. But the way in which Minnesota's defense is, and they're so opportunistic, it makes me think that I should just take the under in the game. So, I'll take the under.
So, no doubt the Vikings win this game. No doubt about that. But 7's a lot of points.
Yeah.
The Bears, for all the letdown they've shown this year, they are still competitive. They're still competitive. Again, they won't beat Detroit on Thanksgiving. If Eagles was a dumbass, that might have happened.
Yeah, and I think Caleb is hating the storyline that's been coming out like the last month and a half, where he's still not. He may not even be a starting quarterback in this league.
I think that's bullshit. I think has he underwhelmed in comparison to his draft position? Absolutely, no question that Jane Daniels Bo-Nix are playing better this year than he is. No one's questioning that.
That was coaching problems more than anything.
Probably right, but we have seen flashes this year of like when things are settled down, he can play ball. Look, this guy, I think he will be a good quarterback in this league.
Me too.
Okay, it may just take more time than we realized. And I think also too in this spot, it's a divisional game. These teams hate each other, so that right off the bat you got to bake that in. So Vikings win, yes, but give me the Bears the points. That's a lot of points.
All
right, a lot of points. Yeah,
I like it. I just don't have the guts to take that.
Yeah, I don't blame you. And especially last week in San Francisco, they got embarrassed. So can that happen again? You know what I mean? So all right, the second game. Well, this is a terrible game here. Falcons at Raiders. The Falcons are 3.5 point favorites. The over under is 44.5. Zach.
So I thought we had flex scheduling. Literally, the NFL still can't look at a game and go, "Oh, we need to move it."
I don't think they can flex Monday night games though. I think they can do Sundays only. I think
only. Well, yeah. There you go. Something you need to fix, because who's tuning into that game? 2 million.
First off, people. Let me say this way. Thank God the NFL had the sense to have two games lined up. So I'll be watching the Bears Vikings game definitely.
Exactly.
Of the two games. So to your point, but you got.
Give me the numbers one more time.
So 3.5. So Falcons 3.5 point favorites. Over under 44.5.
Give me Michael Penix Jr. coming in late and covering. I'll take Atlanta.
Definitely Atlanta win this game. I'm with you. Atlanta wins the game. That's the best bet. I do think this will probably be Kirk Cousins' last start of the year, possibly ever in the Falcons uniform.
If he
this is too much Penix Jr. like whispers now. Cousins is massively regressed the last month. You might as well see what you got with the other quarterback. You know what I'm saying? You draft him for a reason. You know, I'm just curious how they operate with the Cousins thing in this offseason, how that works. You know,
well, the real problem is he's been regressing, but he's about to go against a shit team.
Right.
I mean, a totally shit team.
So false hope, you're saying?
Yeah, I really want to see Michael Penix Jr. on the field. You know how I feel about the kid, but yeah, I don't care who's playing quarterback. Atlanta's gonna cover.
Yeah, I'm with you too. I'm with you on that one. Definitely. So there is your best bets for week number 15 in the National Football League. All right, a couple of things before we get out of here. Well, you know, one football thing real quick. Bill Belichick is back in coach football. It was not the NFL though. The North Carolina Tar Heels college football team has hired him. I heard it was a 3-year, $3 million deal. Now I'm hearing it's 5 years now. Let me check to make sure that's correct, because someone that said they updated the numbers in this one. But Belichick back in the 5-year deal. 5-year deal.
10 million a year.
10 million a year. Your thoughts on that? I'm a little shocked that he's going to college opposed to pros. Did he get some intel that his service is no longer needed in the NFL anymore? I mean, what's going on?
I have no idea about that part. I have two thoughts. First, Bill, congratulations on getting your biggest payday ever from a college team.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking mid college football team. Maybe even not really a top 50 program in the nation, is doling out $10 million a year for the greatest NFL coach ever, and no NFL team thinks he's worth money. So That's my first thought. My
Yeah.
second thought is, oh my God, you dumbass UNC AD. Why would you spend $10 million on a guy who does not want to recruit? He will never want to walk into a family's house. He will never want to pick up the phone to
You
a
sure about
17-year-old kid.
You sure about that?
Oh, hell yes. 100%. There is no way a man in his 70s at his level can handle or tolerate a 17, 18-year-old adolescent. I'm sorry, it just ain't gonna work.
I wonder if, like, because remember earlier you were saying about the Eagles' job could be up depending on how things shake out, but now they won 9 in a row, and it seems like things are okay now. I mean, there's still some decent jobs that could be available this offseason in the NFL, but maybe you got some intel that, or the teams that may have jobs opening that he's not interested in, like the Dallas Cowboys. You know, we'll talk about like McCarthy being gone after the end of the year, and he probably will be gone because his contract expires anyway. Maybe Belichick doesn't want to go to Dallas because of Jerry Jones, you know, for example. I think maybe the jobs that were going to be available this offseason, he just wasn't interested in.
So what, the Jacksonville job isn't going to be open? You're going to have a franchise quarterback with apparently a decent defense?
Yeah. Maybe in a Giants job. I mean, a job that he's always coveted for his entire career. If Dayball gets fired, although I don't think he will get fired, he might have got some intel, honestly, for him to just take this job. I had no idea he had a desire to play college football. I'm stunned.
Yeah, I would have believed it if it was college lacrosse, just as it was one last little expedition of effort to try. But this, I don't get.
I don't get it at all. I just don't. I mean, look, here's the thing, and I'm not even making any predictions here. If he turns things around in North Carolina, it won't be that hard because the ACC is shit. I mean, after they get past Miami and Clemson, and right now SMU, it's easy. There's a lot of space to grow in that conference. So for him to turn things around in that conference, he can have this team competing for bowl games and maybe even a 12-team playoff if he plays the cards right, because the ACC has really no one to compete with, really, other than those teams I just mentioned. So
Florida State will be back after next year because apparently we won't fire Norville this year, so we'll wait till next year to fire him.
Yeah,
we'll have another 3-9 season.
Yeah, better than 2-10, right? So we'll see.
That gave us a little improvement.
Yeah, I when I heard the rumors he was talking North Carolina like a couple of years ago, I was like, that's probably just him trying to put feelers out there. But I didn't think nothing of it. And then I saw today like they're actually framework for a deal. I'm like, oh shit, this is actually going to happen. Like I was kind of shocked, actually, to be honest. I'm a little shocked.
No,
all right,
I'm still in shock.
Right. All right, to the NBA. Jimmy Butler, Miami Heat All-Star guard. Supposedly there is a word that he has interest in getting traded. He is putting some feelers out there. Teams including the Rockets, the Warriors, who's the other one? Rockets, Warriors, and Mavericks.
Yeah.
We saw reports today about the Suns maybe being the fourth team that could be in mix for him. I'm a Heat fan. I already told you how I felt before the year started, that I am okay with the Heat trading him at this point, because for the money he wants and where he is at age-wise, it is not going to work. He's not worth $50 million. He's not even worth. I don't even think he's worth $40 million a year at this point. Really, to be really honest, based on his age, based on where his game is at, and where his games won't go. Like, he's not a perimeter player like Kevin Durant. Like, I'll pay Kevin Durant that kind of money because Kevin Durant, his game still ages well at 36 years old. G Butler, not so much. And I think Jimmy knows that, and the Heat know that, and they're letting Jimmy just test the market, see what is out there, because I think Pat Riley knows that he has all leverage here. So, your thoughts on the Butler rumors, and in your opinion, what is the best fit for Jimmy Butler?
To wear a Heat uniform with a max contract.
You're trying to get a heart attack, aren't you?
So, if we weren't in the same division, in the same conference, and I didn't fucking hate the Heat because my Magic suck in this state and can't win a goddamn ring.
And now
I would say, hallelujah, Miami. How can you catch every freaking break all the time? Here's a guy who wants to leave because he's not going to get his 50+ million a year. God, you're lucky. But honestly, if it's not the Rockets, I don't know what contending team really wants him. Because Golden State, they don't need a small forward. They certainly don't need a small forward who comes in with an attitude and can't gel with players right away.
Mm-hmm. I think Houston will be a fit because they can use a veteran presence. I think him and Ime Udoka, who right now might be coach of the year, next to your boy Jamal Mosley, could at least there's a synergy there. I think there's a I can see that working out honestly between the two guys. I think him asking for a trade, or not so much asking for a trade, but him interested in being traded. He's giving he's letting the Heat off the hook, honestly.
Yeah, he is.
Because I can argue right now, the Heat right now on the other 5 seed, they're playing good basketball last couple of weeks. I can argue right now that Jimmy Butler isn't even their second best player right now on the team. Tyler Hero's on the fucking tear.
Look, right now it's Bam 1A and Tyler 1B,
and then the youth movement around that.
Yeah.
You know, I think the Heat right now are okay with that. Honestly, I think their ceiling is smaller because it's Jimmy, and I don't want to sound like I'm hating on Jimmy because I love Jimmy Butler and what he's done for this franchise. But his reality, Jimmy Butler, the Heat let Dwayne Wade walk. Dwayne Wade, the guy who's got a statue. Who the fuck are you, Jimmy Butler? Like seriously, like no offense, but like okay, like we let Dwayne Wade walk.
You took us to a finals during a bubble in Orlando. Good job, buddy.
Yeah, Dwayne Wade won 3 championships here. Like, what are we doing here? Like, there's no comparison. So, like, if the Heat were okay letting Dwayne Wade walk, like, who's Jimmy Butler? Like, they trade Shaq, crying out loud. Like, they trade Zoe. Like, what are we doing here? So, at the end of the day, like, we all knew this was going to come. Like, Jimmy's best option is staying in Miami. You know, it's going to happen. Jimmy's not going to go anywhere. He's not going to go anywhere, and I can almost guarantee you he's going to opt in his contract. In fact, next year,
I opt in
his contract because that's the most financially prudent thing for him to do because he's not getting that kind of money on the open market. He's just not.
And the new collective bargaining agreement just doesn't make it feasible for most teams to make that trade. So you're literally stuck with Houston. That's your option. You're not going to Dallas where they got $85 million locked up with just 2 players.
Yeah.
That ain't happening. You're not going to Golden State where you're a contentious guy and they've already got one in Draymond Green unless they're trading away Draymond Green. And why would you do that and take on an extra $25 million? It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I'm with you. All right, one last thing to get out of here. One story I've been very fascinated about. I know you've been fascinated about. So the story of the United Healthcare CEO was it Brian Thompson? What his name is? The Thompson is Robinson. What's his name?
Brian Thompson.
Thompson, thank you. Who got murdered last week in New York City in Midtown. Fascinating story. They caught the guy who was allegedly the suspect or person of interest. His name is Luigi Mangione, a very, very Italian guy. The story is fascinating though because what I like about the story, first off, the story is fascinating. The reactions even more fascinating because the reaction that in the general public has been pretty much 85-90% of people have no sympathy for the guy that got murdered because of obviously healthcare CEO. People have been dying, because of insurance and not getting claims approved and all that kind of stuff. And what I've been fascinated about and in a positive way is not so much you hate seeing people get murdered. I'm not even advocating people getting murdered. But what I do like is the fact, number one, first off, to start here, the fact that for the first time, probably about 8 years and longer, we're actually talking about healthcare again. Number one, we haven't talked about healthcare in a long time. Like even in these last couple presidential campaigns, healthcare has not even been forefront an issue whatsoever. So the fact that the reaction from the public is not just like, oh, the left is all happy because the rich guy got murdered. No, it's across the spectrum of both Republicans and Democrats who are united on this front. Like Ben Shapiro and Matt Walsh both did like segments on their shows this week where they were, outing the left on this, like, oh, the left is wrong for the reaction because the guy got murdered. And their own fans, their own people who follow them, conservatives, said, no offense, buddy, ain't this the left. I have no sympathy for this guy either because this healthcare system is broken. At least we can acknowledge that most people in this country, regardless of ideology, agree that the healthcare system today is broken. So now that we know that, where do we move forward from? That's the question. Your thoughts on the situation? This is a fascinating story. It really is.
So I think I look at it as a thing where it's at 90-10. 90% of the population understands what's going on in America. 90% of the people live in the real freaking world where when their doctor diagnoses them with something, they have to call their insurance company just to go and get approved to go see the next doctor and then get that treatment or that examination approved. And then when they find out what is going to be necessary, if it's cancer, are you going to need a prosthetic? Are you going to have to go through chemo or radiation? Can it be just a removal, a lumpectomy or something? Is it going to be an organ transplant or an organ treatment? Like 90% of this country understands what having a lifetime ailment is and a possible precondition that will prevent you from having health insurance 12 years ago or in the next 2 years now that the Republicans have taken office. You have, in the same week that this guy got shot, Anthem Blue Cross literally got outed for saying they were going to start restricting anesthesia. They were going to start monitoring the amount of anesthesia and how long it would take for certain surgeries. And if your surgery took longer than the estimated time, well, you're out of luck with your anesthesia. So we're at a point where health insurance companies price gouge you to get into your health insurance, then deny your claim so that they can prevent paying out money. Then when you get when they finally authorize the care, they find any way they can deny that treatment for any kind of mistake that happened.
And by the way, United Healthcare had the most denied claims of any company for record.
40%. They were running an algorithm that denied everyone's care, 90% of everyone's treatment.
Yeah.
All right. So that is the kind of situation we live in. Then in the broader aspect, the people making those decisions, they are intentionally making those decisions that will cost people their lives so that they can make more money. We keep hearing how he's only making $10 million. I'm sorry. That I know is bullshit because every one of those CEOs, COOs, and CFOs, they not only get a pay package, they get a stock option to come with it. As soon as the stock goes up a certain percent over a certain amount of years, they get those shares. So he's not just making $10 million. He's got a down the road golden parachute. So we take these health executives who intentionally choose to withhold care so that they can make more money. And by withholding care, they are killing people. But we can't say they're killing people by withholding care. We have to say they're making financial decisions for stockholders.
Yeah.
All right. One person kills 68,000 people in a year. The other guy killed one man. If he'd have killed a homeless black man who is shouting obscenities, one group would be calling him a fucking hero, right? Yeah. One side, we know automatically if that guy was shouting shit and he was black on a subway and he got killed, he'd be called a hero.
Right.
But when 68,000 people a year die because of denied health care, oh, well, that's just a guy doing a job. He doesn't deserve it.
And it's a system because, like, it's not technically illegal what he did because the government allows this shit to happen.
But it is literally these people. We have to stop saying it's a system. It is an intentional decision.
No, of course. I agree with you. I'm just saying that it's just not like he won't go to jail. He wasn't a threat going to jail for this shit, in other words.
Oh, no, he would never go to jail.
That's what I'm saying, right.
He could have not only denied health care to thousands of people for just having his health care, right? So ballpark, biggest healthcare company in the world, in our country.
Yeah.
So let's say he's responsible for 25,000. That company is responsible for 25,000 people dying without health care. Then you look at it as, well, 25,000 people I denied health care who had health insurance. All that money, that becomes maybe what? Hundreds of millions, possibly $1 billion in profit. And it's literally, we're just trying to make dimes on dead bodies.
Yeah.
I'm going to say it.
Right.
I believe a lot of America, me personally, will see this man as a folk hero trying to change the system, because it's going to be the only way to change the healthcare system when you are allowed to have 10 lobbyists for every single person in Congress.
I think
they're the largest lobbying section of our economy.
And the people who are mad about this, I don't think they understand. It's less about him, the person who's doing this. It's more about the proxy, and the principle of the situation, that he happens to be someone that understood the situation. And look, I'm not advocating for murder, obviously, but sometimes when you put yourself at risk, you have to find out. What's they call it? Fuck around, find out.
Look, we had 71 million people who wanted to hang a vice president because he wouldn't change the vote.
Yeah.
But we got 100,000 people dying every year without health care. Millions who don't even have health care because it's unaffordable. I'm sorry. The right cannot be mad at anyone.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But and the way a lot of the right are trying to frame the argument now is that all the left is, supposed to be this party for peace. The thing is, you understand, is that this is not a left-right issue, though. This is again, and the election kind of sort of framed this in some way, although I still have doubts that Donald Trump is a real populist. This is establishment versus populist. Again.
Yeah.
Part of the reason why Democrats are having issues now with their base is because people like myself, I'm not a Democrat, but I would say you fall in this camp too also, feel that the Democratic Party, not the people who vote, the people who actually run the fucking party, believe the top of the party are mostly care about their donors and the corporation. That's it. This is why they're losing people left and right.
Well, I'm going to say two things.
Go ahead.
One, I got to say real quick.
Go ahead.
And it's not on this, but we had a guy spend $250 million to buy a presidency. And what did it do? He made $150 billion.
Oh, I think I lost Zack there. Give me 1 second if I can pause this quick. All right, we lost Zack there. Unfortunately, I think his phone died or something happened. So we're going to end the podcast there. So until the next one, we'll talk later.